just to illustrate how very simply how a bail-in would work, and then we're going to apply it on Lehman Brothers and to say, well, Lehman Brothers was actually, let's say, when those who let Lehman fail are those who actually pulled the trigger on the most biggest credit crunch we have seen in the last 100 years. Could Lehman be saved by bail-in? Would that have worked or not? So this is a sample balance sheet of a bank, which has here, for example, on both sides has 100 on assets and 100 actually liabilities. And then on one blue Monday, the bank suddenly runs into trouble and has a big creditor which cannot pay back its loans, and there's going to be an impact on this side of the balance sheet, so the bank is going to lose money. And if the bank is losing money here, it will be first the equity holders, which actually will be cut. Well, the loan book drops from 50 to 40, so the loss of 10. Well, this is completely wiping out actually my equity holders. But what then needs to be done is a bank needs equity. A regulator might decide, well, you know what? Now we're going to bail in. We're going to bail in the support in the bondholders, and we're going to force them to become partially equity holders. So that's what we're going to do. Is here. So bailed in. I've said that actually the senior debt is out of the question. It's always like equity, subordinate debt, actually cocoa bonds. Cocoa bonds can also be built in. So even if if your trigger is not reached, your cocoa bonds can be built in. No problem about that. And technically we go to senior debt. And an illustration of what could happen when senior bonds are built in is Denmark. Right now, it's personal opinion again. I have the impression that the regulators in Europe, throughout the world, they're having this competition. They all want to be the toughest. For example, take now the leverage ratio. In the US, they have the leverage ratio, they have pushed up to 6%. Even if technically Basel III says actually the capital, core equity capital should be 9.5%, but you see in all the countries around the world, the regulators are going for higher standards. Same thing in Denmark. In Denmark, there was a small bank, I can't hardly pronounce it, it's Amager Banken, and this FT article on FT Alpha, they call it the Armageddon Bank, was a very small bank in Denmark that blew up, and in this bank, the senior bondholders, they had to be pulled out. No, so they were bailed out, bailed in, sorry, and they had to take a hit. And that created immediately like an avalanche that went to the whole financial system actually in Denmark. So what's the consequence of events? September 2010, there was a new law on financial stability which was rolled out in Denmark. In this new law, senior bondholders were no longer protected. 6 months later, early 2011, we had the bank Amager Banken, which went belly up. We also had Fjordbank Mors, which also had to inflict loss on senior bondholders. And they lost respectively 28% and 41%. Now, as an international reaction, the Danish banks remained cut off from the international markets. A lot of Danish banks could not fund themselves anymore in the international markets because of this. Why would you give money? Why would you invest in a senior bond of a Danish bank if senior bonds around the rest of the globe are bail-in free, so to speak, but not in Denmark? So this is actually a very interesting case study that financial law has now been changed. But it's a very important thing how one small sentence in the law can actually have very important consequences throughout the world.